2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
To an emergency edition of Teaching Crypto. This is AZcrypto and MrFOMO. MrFOMO, we are always honest with our audience. We are not moon boys. And finally got some clarity today about Three Arrows Capital and Voyager, and it wasn't good. Obviously, we knew last week they got the loan, but as we feared, the exposure was real. Depending on the reports, between $650 and $660 million worth of assets. And luckily, they got the loan immediately to keep it from being a catastrophic event like Celsius, but not a good day.
No, definitely not. And it doesn't, it just erodes the trust again. You know, it makes it seem like they are one of these companies that's just getting away with what they can while they can. I seem to remember after Terra Luna was the token of the month or the coin of the month, which I'm not saying that there was some sort of collusion there, but the next month, Terra Luna collapses. And then we get an email from Steve saying that, you know, we've got to, people should be responsible with their money and you should never, you know, basically telling us what we know about investing. And then lo and behold, the whole time he's making his own risky investments.
Well, you know, Three Arrows Capital was a significant investor as a part of the Luna Foundation. So did Voyager realize that? Did they try to, was it too late at that moment? But that letter was almost a reassurance as, hey, we're okay. Even when Celsius had their issues, they were quick to point out, no, we're okay. I don't, someone didn't do their homework when they accepted that Three Arrows partnership. And unfortunately, it almost destroyed the company, that one decision. Because I don't think they needed Three Arrows Capital to survive. It was more of a luxury partnership versus a necessity, which really is, it makes it, you know, it's not like Three Arrows invested $650 million into Voyager. That's what makes this very peculiar. Bad decision making.
It seems like the team was getting away with what they could while they could. Not that this was a malicious decision, but the idea of giving an uncollateralized loan, even if there's, you know, a small amount of collateral, but to give them a loan that large with no collateral. In this space, even I couldn't see it in regular banking, where, you know, you're not dealing with shady people all the time. But crypto is still very young, and there's still a lot of bad actors out there. There's still a lot of bad actors that look like good actors, that look like big companies that should have staying power. And so to make those kinds of loans, while at the same time speaking out of the other side of his face and telling us to be responsible, is a little bit frustrating to me.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers. Voyager VGX, as you know, is at 43 cents right now. I mean, honestly, down 18%. Not
down as much as
not horrible, but here's the thing, and I keep saying this, you know, the people that are left, a lot of them have the debit card or finally waiting to get them. Who knows how this is going to affect it? So because of the use case, I don't see the market cap going below 100 million. We're at 125 right now. So honestly, right now it appears that things have been saved for now. Obviously, VGX is now more riskier than ever before, but I don't see it going down to 25 cents or 10 cents. We're kind of near the bottom here. So I
It's
mean, at your own risk. We're not financial advisors, but if you believe the company is going to be okay, I do. But again, I don't blame anyone for jumping out at this point because you saw what happened. Even Luna's a completely different situation. It just taught you that in crypto, even Solano had a scare last week. Again, no one is 100% safe. That's the reality. Except for Bitcoin and USDC, nothing is 100% safe. It's not like BGX is going down to zero, but you know,
and to be honest with you, I don't think it is. I DCA'd.
I mean, it can't go down to zero because the, like even if they were acquired by someone else, the token would be turned into something else or rebranded. But
Mhm.
not ideal. That's not why you're buying it. So
But I mean, on the flip side, if you don't believe that this is the death knell for this company, then you have a great opportunity, like I said, to DCA a little bit
well, yeah. I mean,
and and then take advantage of
I
any
mean,
kind of pump that comes
at
later.
at 125 million, all just to get to 10x is 1.2 billion for a brokerage token that has a huge utility. Yeah, I mean, it's actually technically if you get past this news in a couple weeks and a couple months and everything's back, well, they'll be repaying a big time loan. But I mean, I think you're going to look and say, wow, 43 cents is an amazing investment. But again, there's risk involved. There just is. The one good thing is I think you are going to see some of these projects. Like we have a couple friends, you more than me, that have invested in some off the wall tokens that are probably going to die. They're probably going to have funerals over the next 3 to 6 months because the money's going to run out.
I
So
mean, it's something that you hear people. What's the guy on Digital Asset News, Rob, and there's another channel that I watch, but they say all the time that most of these projects, especially the ones that are way down the list, they're just slow moving Ponzi schemes. They're stacking up your money and then they're waiting to rug pull you. So yeah, this is not the time, especially if something it had a questionable outlook anyway. I'm not sure that this is the time to be speculating on things that could just disappear overnight. And that's again, that's just my opinion, not financial advice, but to be honest with you, I'd be sticking to things with staying power. And with this bad news today, I still think that Voyager has some staying power, but like you said, we'll see.
yeah, and you don't want to have all your money into one project. That's again another Luna. um, and so let's talk about BTC because that's obviously in the short term, in the medium term, going to control how quickly these alts recover. Right now, it seems like 20K is it's a struggle to get a lot of momentum past 20K, which is crazy. We kept on calling it the friendly bear, and wow, has that? Little did we know that
Well,
it's
we talked a little bit in our video earlier or yesterday.
anything but friendly.
We talked about kind of being observational, watching the charts and noticing levels, and this was kind of a perfect opportunity. If you saw Bitcoin fall down to 19,000 today, it's one of those chances that you could have taken. Maybe you could have snagged an alt and like audio today and seen what was it, 10% at one point or 11%.
Yeah, the risk though is I don't think BTC is stable at 20K. Someone asked me today, could we see 18K? I said absolutely. We could even see 17 or 16K. Completely not out of the well. I'm not a 6K. There are some
people that say we
person,
go as low as 12, and then there's some people that say 7 or 6.
I don't see single digits. I've been wrong before, but I think that's a huge stretch
yeah,
because
I don't. I'm not sure that I see that happening either. I just it's to me, this was just kind of an opportunity today, that quick volatility. it went down to 19, it found its support and then turned around. If you were purchasing it,
but again, let's talk to our viewers here. 20K BTC is still a good buy, long term.
absolutely
Still an excellent buy. So don't feel like, oh my God, now it's over
continue
20. I'm not going to buy now.
To chop sideways like this, then taking advantage of these brief shots of volatility is probably the best way to go.
And I know we're not doing a really quick before we leave our audience. We're not doing the draft tonight, but is there? I'll give you mine. Is there a token that you're looking at that maybe we haven't talked about a bunch that really people are sleeping on that could make a huge move? So, like for example, I've mentioned Audius before. I'm going to kind of bring one in here that I have not talked about very, very much. And again, at your own risk. When I say very, very much, I don't say recently. Something that's sneaking up that you mentioned before that hasn't done great is Engine. Now, Engine went all the way down to 37 cents. It's back up to 50 cents. But I noticed this today, the 24-hour volume for a token that's market cap, it just hit 500 million, 47.55 million. So that to me is a sign that when things finally go well, Engine is something that could be under $1, that could back to 250 very quickly in the recovery. So I just wanted to point that token out. We talked about DCA. I think that's a project that could easily get to 5 billion in the next bull run, and it's it's going to be around. It's a very, very, very organized project since 2009. So that's one that I wanted to remind our viewers of.
And I think that you're spot on with that. I think that one that I may look at maybe would be something like Chili's, only because in this bear market, NFT volume hasn't fallen down. NFT volume is actually growing. And so I see NFTs as something moving forward, especially with companies like Meta, formerly Facebook, announcing that they have partnerships with companies.
Well, what about eBay today acquiring a major NFT marketplace? So
so that to me makes companies like that with NFT marketplaces or that deal in NFTs a little bit more interesting right now.
And so the people that say crypto is dead, at the same time, they have to acknowledge that the big players are still investing behind the scenes. So just a heads up, anyone that tell you that crypto, Chili's is below 10 cents, and they almost got to, they were pushing $1 during their height at the bull. So $840 million market cap. And again, be careful, DCA, because
or maybe something like Flow.
Oh yeah, that's another great one. Yeah, the draft we'll have the draft fairly soon. We want to see. I think for me, I'd feel more comfortable doing a draft after BTC tested 17 again, if that happens, and then we can, you know what I mean? Like,
you're probably really going from the bottom up there. Then you can't. I don't know if you can really miss at that point.
Well, again, it's impossible.
We'll have to have like a follow-up show where we actually measure it out and see who wins.
Yeah, it's impossible to time the bottom, guys. And people that are telling you 6K, 9K, 11K, they're guessing. Okay, so just understand that. So again, we'll try to stay with you as much as we can. For Mr. FOMO, this is AZcrypto. Have a great rest of the week, everybody.
See ya.